Welcome indoor cycling fans for something brand new on the channel. Today I will try RGT for the first time. Today's stage is 37.7 kilometers, 88 meters of altitude, so not a lot of climbing. And right from the start, just like on Zwift, things are going up pretty fast. Already one comparison to Zwift. On Zwift you start off more like one big blob, and here it's more individual riders. If you can, it's pretty important to stay in the draft. You can see it in the top left hand corner. Even though I'm not part of the group, I'm still saving watts. So this gives me an opportunity to get back to the group. Now I can settle in. Now you see it, I'm saving more watts than just a few moments ago. And I'm in the complete black outfit on a Canyon Aeroad bike. So in RGT you can choose your bike, helmet and jerseys just like on Zwift. The only thing is that there are not as many options. Being dropped behind a little. Now taking the wheel of the rider just in front. He brings me back to the group. Seems like you also get this small speed bump when you come from the back of another rider. So of course, first race I have to get used to the physics of RGT. That's why I struggle a little at the start. The feeling of draft when you're inside a group is really good. And to me it's a lot better than on Zwift. The only thing I think RGT has to implement, they have no categories. If you're interested, you can try this out totally for free. You have a paid option and a free option, but you can race, you can have group rides. I'm in the front myself, trying to get rid of a few riders. It's really hard to break away. After almost 3 kilometers, one rider trying to break away, which I think is really good on RGT. You really have the feeling that the group has to work together in order to catch up on the rider in front. There are 23 riders on today's stage. Once again an attack of two riders. One rider trying to bridge the gap. Now another rider. Here you see it well. The group has to work together, otherwise we won't catch up on the riders in front. After 4.2 kilometers, I start to get the feel of RGT. Started to understand the physics a little bit more. You can see the importance of draft on RGT. Always stick close to the rider in front of you. You can see it well that I sort of like adapted already to the physics. In the beginning I got dropped quite a lot, and at the moment I know when to react to stay close with the group. There's just one thing, you slow down a little in corners. I have to get used to that. In a way, I think it's a bit better to slow down in the corners and speed things up once you get out of the corner, just like you would in real life. On the left you can see that a few riders are already more than half a kilometer behind. So at this point in the race I felt quite comfortable being in the group. Struggling a little, have to get back. Looks like things are speeding up a little inside the group. Tempo was a bit slower for quite a while, but now have to pay attention. Speed is definitely going up. But here you see it well, one rider in front pushing on. And if you do it well, you can still be inside the group and not doing a lot of watts per kilo. The tempo settles down again. So 9.2 kilometers into this race. And for the entire 9 kilometers I was paying attention, keeping my eyes out for possible attacks. With the help of Marican, once again I get back with the group. But things are definitely speeding up front. It's a bit harder now. You can see it well, a lot of riders are struggling at the moment. So this is definitely a new dynamic I was feeling in the race. I could say that the race was on at this moment. in the front, doing a lot of watts at the moment. Stretching out the first group. The race is definitely on at the moment, pretty hard. I was really struggling. And here I should have reacted a bit earlier. Now I'm losing contact with the group. Maybe my friend Marikan can bring me back. It looks like he's tired as well. And the group is off. And hopefully the two of us can work together. The pace in the front is pretty high, so hopefully a few riders are dropped as well. Sure looks like it. Seems like the first group is split up. I'm pushing hard, trying to get back. "80 meters behind on the group in front. Group of 4 riders, I think. Losing a bit of pace after that corner. Still pushing on. The gap is now almost 100 meters. Looks like Vigneault is struggling as well. So it was quite clear. I have to get used to the physics. All of a sudden the pace in the first group was pretty high. And if I reacted earlier, maybe I was still up front, but I didn't. So that's why I'm in this position. Trying to get back to the group in front together with Marikan. Now taking a breather myself in the wheel of Marikan. So here you see it well, Marikan doing a 3.4 watts and I'm doing or at least I was doing a 2.5. Now we're taking over. Because I realize we have to act fast if we want to get back to the group in front. Pushing on. 4.2 watts right now. On Zwift you get time differences between groups. On RGT you have these gaps in meters, which to me is better. Just push a little harder, seeing those meters going down. One moment we were 160 meters behind on the group in front and now it's only 80. So we're definitely closing in, but I'm getting tired. Doing a lot of work trying to bridge the gap. Maybe it's time for Marican to take over. I'm getting tired. So that's why I decided to take the wheel of Marican. Hopefully he can do his part of the work. Now we're settling in. Marican 3.8, I'm 2.5. So I think the draft on RGT is excellent. Something Zwift should implement pretty fast, especially for low weight riders like me. This is the only way low weight riders can save some energy and try to race a bit more tactical. Definitely bridging the gap, only 50 meters. And here you could see it well. The closer I get to a Marican, the less effort I have to produce. Now we're sitting in his wheel, 2.2 watts. Small gap, and I have to push harder. Now I'm taking over. Only 27 meters left to go. Almost back together with the group. This actually felt really good. Marican and me worked hard to get back. Almost back together. I got tired. So hopefully Marican takes over. Pushing on. Try to bridge the gap myself. Now Marican pushing hard. I have to take his wheel. So job well done, back together with the group, or at least the second group in the race. And already, almost instantly, one rider trying to break away. It's Vigneault in the black and yellow jersey. And although I was suffering, I really liked it. It's something that could happen in real life as well. So now we have to work together to bridge that gap. So that was a nice moment in the race. Getting back to the group and instantly an attack from a rider inside that group. Now hopefully I can rest a little. Just trying to get in the zone. Hopefully not going it too fast. Now I'm trying to position myself behind the other riders. Saving us 67 watts at the moment. I said it a few times earlier, but the draft system on RGT is excellent. You really have to make use of it. Coming from Zwift, it takes quite some time to adapt. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty important. Now halfway in the race. The gap with the group up front is 720 meters. That group is bigger, so I don't think we're gonna catch up. Now in the wheel of Bennett from the UK, in the white jersey. Because the group is not as big as in the start of the race, it's easier to get back. Again, 4.3 watts and I'm doing at 2.6. So your positioning inside the group is really important. I just need to get the hang of things when coming in or at least going inside a corner and coming out of one. There's just one other thing on RGT that I like more compared to Zwift, and that's the stage profile, which you see in the at the bottom. Just a lot more clear to me, seeing the whole stage profile laid out. Once again, it's a American up front pushing on. I have to close the gap right now. Take the wheel of Bennett, and it's Bennett bringing me back. And now, trying to push on myself. Time trial position, 4.5 watts. Let's see if I can get rid of one of the riders in the group. Shackleton trying to take my wheel, also Vigneault. Here's Vigneault. Trust me, if the group doesn't work together, you're not going to get back with the rider up front. Taking a breather. So it's Shackleton pushing on at the moment in the front. And the tempo drops. So I definitely tried to get rid of a rider, didn't work. Hopefully I can try it once again. 23 kilometers into this race, 14.3 kilometers left to go. We are way behind on the first group. 1.26 kilometers. I definitely didn't want to be in the front. I want my heart rate to drop. And maybe plan another attack. Or at least that was my strategy. But Marican is pushing on in the front once again. I have to leave a small gap. First up, I have to take the wheel of Vigno. So I wanted to get my heart rate drop a little and then maybe attack myself. But Marican just was a little bit earlier. I'm struggling a little, heart rate going up. Trying to get in the wheel of Vigno. Still struggling, have to push on, otherwise this group is speeding off. Marican still pushing on up front, making it hard for me to get back. Doing a 5.4 watts, now a 7, and that seems to do the trick. Back together with the group. Tempo inside the group is getting a bit harder. Looks like now I'm producing a steady pace. Keeping the tempo up together with a Shackleton in the red jersey. There's one rider in the front being dropped. It's a rally from the UK. We're 750 meters behind. Will we be able to catch up on a rally? Shackleton is at least trying, pushing hard in the front of the group. Together with Vigneault, and I tried to take the wheel of Vigneault. Small incline of 2.4%. And I'm pushing on. 5.2 watts on this small incline. Maybe I have a tiny advantage here. And it reacts. Looks like Marican is in trouble. Falling behind 30 meters. Here's Vigneault. Maybe if we keep on doing this, we can catch up on a rally. I'm still pushing on in the front. So at the moment we really try to bridge the gap with a rally. Seems to work, 720 meters. We have to keep the pace up. It's going to be hard. Now I'm in the front, 5 watts. See the gap with a rally shrinking fast. I can't do all of the work myself. Still pushing on. Now I have to take a breather. Hopefully someone else is going in the front. Now it's a Shackleton. So we really try to work together as a group. But it looks like I'm the one with the most effort. As soon as I wasn't in the front, the gap with a rally increases once again. Try to get in the zone. And the gap with rally is shrinking. But no one's taking over. Or at least not with the same amount of effort. Now Shackleton. the effort is not enough. So I try once again myself. I'm doing a lot of work at the moment. My tactic is not to attack, but I just want to bridge that gap with a rally. Maybe now in the wheel of Vigneault. But once, as Vigneault passes me, he drops the effort. So no one inside this group is really pushing on. Maybe now Shackleton. The gap with a rally now is 650 meters. So we're closing in on a rally. I think as a group we have to do more. I definitely was doing my share of the work. But the tempo inside of the group isn't high enough to catch up on a rally. I think we need at least 3.3 watts as a group to get back. Now Vigneault pushing on. This is what we need as a group. Try to bridge the gap myself. Maybe if Vigneault and me get isolated, the rest of the group is back. So good effort. And you instantly see the result. 595 meters away from Rowley. So this is definitely what we need. And actually this felt really, really great. As soon as the tempo dropped inside of our group, Rowley was able to increase the gap. So at this moment in the race, I definitely had the feeling that not everyone inside our group wanted to catch up on Rowley, especially with only 6.4 kilometers left to go. Some of us wanted to reserve some energy. Maybe that's what I should do myself. Didn't work well enough together to catch up on him. In order to do that, we should have relayed more. gonna try once again, trying to break away, and at the same time maybe catch up on rally still. You can see it well as soon as we pushed on a little bit harder. We're closing in on rally. I should also think about not blowing up. And also inside the group, we started to feel that some of the riders wanted to reserve some energy. And I started to think about the final sprint. Here I was struggling a little. And the group was falling apart, and it's Vigneault in the front, trying to push on. Now Bennett taking over, also Shackleton pushing hard. So Vigneault was trying to put some pressure on the rest of the group. Didn't work. But I really like those dynamics inside of a group. Only 4.2 kilometers left to go. Not going to bridge the gap with Rowley. So I decided to take things easy, but I was struggling to hold the wheel of the riders in the group. Like I said earlier, the group isn't big, so it's still possible to get back even when you have to leave a small gap. This is a visual glitch, tree in the middle of the road. The road's going up a little, 1%. Things got a little bit nervous inside of the group. Now, some of the riders were pushing on. I think we should have done that earlier. Maybe we could have caught up on Rowley. So all I want to do right now is stay part of this group and rest as much as possible. If I can stay behind on the other riders. and the wheel of Bennett. So we were able to drop Marican. If you see on the left, he's already 1.69 kilometers behind. So that's what happens when you get dropped. Almost reaching the end of this race. And although I'm not in the first group, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the dynamics inside of this group. Enjoyed the draft. And also how it worked out tactically. And also the way I had to react to small attacks from the riders inside of this group. .7 kilometers left to go. Really try to reserve some energy here. Only doing 1.7 watts. Dropping back once again, saving energy, drafting as much as I can. Bit too late coming out of that corner. 1 kilometer left to go. Also like that red pennant. 1 kilometer before the finish line. Closing in on the group and taking things easy. This moment in the race we were all looking at each other, not really pushing on. I really enjoyed this moment. All looking at each other, 300 meters left to go. Normal Zwift sprint start at the 300 meter mark. But it looks like we're gonna wait a little bit longer. I was definitely ready for the sprint, but it's Vigneault pushing on. I have to react. Doing 12 watts right now, trying to take the wheel of Vigneault, passing Vigneault. Looks like I'm going to win the sprint. This was a really nice, that final sprint, looking at each other. So I really enjoyed this first race ever on RGT. Then Vigneault started the sprint, I reacted well, and here are some stats. Hope to do some more pretty soon. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Hope to see you all again some other time.